I see.
Kinda.
You're like here, there, everywhere.
So,
I drive by you a lot.
Huh?
I drive by you a lot.
You drive by me a lot? Go by a house? Or what?
That's my corner.
did you win
I did.
for, now you have both places, right?
No,
So
well,
you were,
I have to resign this one.
you can't.
No, you can't be on
Oh,
both.
I see.
But I can get sworn in on the one for the 16th.
Oh,
I'm still here.
So when's the next meeting before you leave?
Thursday.
Thursday? This Thursday? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. That's a short week. I keep forgetting. It's a short week.
But you're still gonna be, functioning here, so that's, because you live here, right?
Como? Functioning in what? Where?
As the chair of the planning group.
So I'm up for re-election to be on it, but I hope somebody else runs for chair.
No, but this is the planning group, is that the,
Right.
the
So I'm up for re-election to the planning group, but I don't want to be chair again.
Oh.
So you still got 2 years left, you can do it. Whoever wants to do it, I'm gonna encourage you all.
I don't got the time.
I don't have the time.
Certainly not.
And then, the biggest thing is I try to keep a track of everybody who requests presentations. But you have to have them, so since we're on Wednesdays, you have to submit by Friday to the city. And the city they barely sent it out this morning. But that's why we post here. And then I posted on, there's a couple of other websites where you can post it to meet the 72 hours, but that's the biggest thing is to remember to post it the Friday before. And then people after that will tell you on Monday, siempre no, not this month, next month. And there's 2 presentations that since maybe April. Yes, no, yes, no.
Hey, what happened to Jason? Jason was interested, wasn't
In
he? To become the
chair? I don't think so. I don't think he has time. He got a new job with a.
He's still part of our group?
See, he's up for re-election too, no?
Oh, yeah. He is.
Yeah. He is working for a law firm, which now keeps him busier than before. So now I can't boss him around like I used to.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. Es para que vote. Hay 9.
Supposedly yesterday was a meeting
Hay
in
9.
IB
Puede votar
for
por 9, puede votar por 1 o 2.
the sandbag,
Puede votar por usted.
for the bike thing and stuff like that. I couldn't
No,
even
no, no,
do that.
no,
I wanted to go.
Sí,
Because he said
si son 9.
you put that made that thing,
Póngale una marca, yo le
We're
puse
gonna
una
be there.
marca.
you know, yeah. It's just a bunch
Ah,
of,
crucecita.
they had time to go.
Was it I
Son nueve.
didn't.
In the city hall, it was,
Oh, and IB?
yeah.
Aquí está la pluma. Aquí estuvo la vez pasada, fue la que se presentó al último, ¿se acuerdan? Una señora que estaba sentada ahí.
agree. With Sandag, also people that did, bike lane right there with the civic centers.
Hmm?
In the runabout, all that. I wish I could have gone to that anyway.
They're gonna build another one, they built another one over there by El Sol.
What's that, a runabout?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that street is a lot bigger.
That was the city, though. That was the city in response to the accidents. But this one is Sandag. They're connecting the border to the Bay Shore Bikeway.
Are they gonna do another one in San Ysidro, or just that one?
No, just that one. Unless the city, the city in our in the mobility plan, there are streets that call for, but the city doesn't have funding. This was a project that got state money. That's the difference. The one on Del Sol was in response to there's been 3 fatal accidents in that intersection.
Yeah, 'cause it goes too fast.
Yeah. And that was the city.
I am in the board.
I went through that one, and I noticed that it wasn't done per the blueprint. You know, there was supposed to be 2 lanes going west and 1 lane, you know, on the runabout. Just 1 lane going east and 2 lanes.
On this one?
I remember the drawing. That's why I thought it was gonna be okay, but now it's gonna be just 1. But, you know, the thing is, it's still okay because it's fluid, it's always moving. Let's see. No, es que desde 5:30, 6:30 es la elección. Y el día empieza a las 6:30.
Me quitaron mi novela, no te creas, mi novela luego.
¿Qué dice Luz? ¿No me ha visto Luz? ¿Cómo se llama? Norma Solano.
Norma la veo casi todas las semanas y todos los días está con nosotros en Taxamiento de la secretaria. Vamos a desayunar. Todas las semanas está en el community center. Y los días de full pan. Sí, sí, yo sé que son de los-
¿Cómo que se ¿Es el que vino hace poco aquí? No. Oh, Norma. ¿Y qué tenemos con Andrea y este muchacho, el esposo de Luz, que vino a hablar sobre los estacionamientos y la construcción de San Ysidro? Check with Woody. And we'll be on the list.
One of you is, who's the older one? You're the older one, right? Are you older?
Yeah.
Oh, then both of you are. There's one must. Just one. Okay, no, you both are. You're- Both of you are good.
Okay,
Yeah, that's,
there you go. You also went? He's also in the list.
Sí.
Okay. La señora Morán, que tengo mucho que no veo. Ya.
¿Sigue aquí? ¿En San Isidro?
¿Quién? La
Señora
señora
Morán.
está en Spring Valley con su hijo inmediato. Tengo que saludar a todos las que la conozcan y pregunten por ella.
Do we still
Me
sell?
saluda.
Estaba
Do
en
we
el
still
puesto
sell it or
de-
you have to wait?
You
Ah.
can come back at 6:30 if you want. Meeting starts
At
at 6:30.
6:45.
6:45.
Okay.
You can stay if you want.
Se me mandó saludar a la señora Morán.
Oh.
Hablé con ella el viernes en la noche, porque el sábado era su cumpleaños. Y me dijo,
Right.
no la quiere traer, le digo. Es que si la trae, la vamos a querer abrazar.
No.
Y la lastimamos de su hombro. Cualquier cosita se le... El que se quebró hace 5 años, no ha podido por el cáncer que tiene. No ha podido que se le solde bien cualquier cosita. Se le vuelve. Entonces viene y que el gusto que nos da, pues lo vamos a abrazar y la vamos a abrazar otra vez. Se le encontraba, levantó un impacto que le cayó el sol. Y se le quebró el hicieron muy de todo.
Le dieron
5 años.
a partir de ese año,
Entró ya.
pero se ha cuidado.
Por eso el hijo no le da solamente él la hierba y la está cuidando y ahí dentro de su casa, en su cuarto,
Eso es lo que tenemos que tener mucho cuidado nosotros. Yo me caí en mi bicicleta, pero estaba parada. Pero me empieza todo el seguro. Y me pegué aquí. Me rompí varios, no me rompí, me rasgué varios ligamentos pero no quería dejarme de ir porque no quería
There isn't. There's just elections, and then once we start the meetings, the only thing on the agenda are internal areas. There's nothing, and it won't be done. We usually start in December. So we've got a couple people already wanting to do presentations in January. There's no. I wouldn't.
Well, I'm always trying to learn, so anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too, bye-bye. Are you excited to get out of San Ysidro School District? Ready to see what is coming?
No, that's why I toured the CTE programs today, which is cool,
Mhm.
the number of programs that they have, but
What schools would you govern? San Ysidro High School?
So the ones that the elections are by district. So my district is San Ysidro High School, Montgomery Middle, and both Castle Parks. But once you're on the board, that goes away. So they will kind of default to you, like if something's happening and they don't want all the board members showing up, they will tell you, okay, those are your schools. But if it's like on decision making, it's
No, right.
not like, yeah.
Yeah. Why doesn't San Ysidro High School have a band? It's sad.
So Southwest doesn't so a lot of my friends, like the ones from Little League and stuff that my kid goes to, they're from Southwest and they're telling us Southwest doesn't have a band. They have a music program because some of the kids are in mariachi, but like when they go to games, there's no band.
That's sad.
When did they stop the band? Because they used to have a band.
Yeah, no say, I couldn't tell you. So that's one of the things people are like, we want to get the band back. And
Pero Marvel está bien que sí tienen band ellos.
yeah,
Ellos sí pueden.
so no, that's definitely one of the things I was telling people about, because there's inequities in facilities, number one, and then a lot of times what they do is they'll build a football field and they're like, oh, there you go. But I mean,
That's
football
not
fields,
enough.
yeah. I'm on their bond oversight, so we do meetings at different campuses. And there's like the one that was really bad, Granger Junior High in National City. I mean, we walked into the gym, it's like looking at movies like Teen Wolf, you know, like stuff like that. So you walk in, I was like, dang, I didn't have these types of facilities. Like, it's just bad. So I don't remember where I was the other day. It was hot, and it's like, you know, it's cold outside right now. Walk into a room and like, hey, you know, like, oh, we don't have AC, we don't have air conditioning. So like and then, you know, you expect the kids to be in there all day, paying attention. So that's definitely some of the things that I wanted to focus on is the classroom buildings.
Yeah, because where we went to school, you know, I'm not probably older than you, but like Myers didn't have AC nor Sunset, but it wasn't as hot back then as it is now. Now it's different kind of a heat.
And then the other thing is the differences when you're walking, when you're visiting, like when you go from one school, the newer schools to the older schools. One of the things I've noticed is like the lighting and just the feel of the older schools have like this drop down ceiling, so it feels more claustrophobic and darker and just like stuffier, you know. There's not a good air circulation. It's you walk in and you feel it, right? And then the newer ones, it's like open and air circulating, and even with the lights off, you know, you got all open windows. It just feels different. So it's like, like there's stuff like that. Like over here, like I've been telling Dr. Potter for a while, the basketball courts at the middle school. I get why it's like that, but they're these high fences surrounded and it feels like it's like you're watching a prison movie, you know, and like it looks and it feels, and it's like, can we figure out something nicer or something that I know, you know, like to avoid the balls going out or like a ball flying in from the baseball field or whatever, but like you can put the netting like they use at like golf courses and stuff like that doesn't look institutional, right? Like it's like it looks like you've got the kids locked in. So there's just some things like that that's cosmetic.
Yeah. It's like when I went
You were gonna be late anyway.
when I went to Southwest.
Oh, well, you can help.
Yeah.
Since you got an email?
They closed the freeway.
It was real nice. Also Montgomery.
But everyone so far.
All of a sudden, it started putting on the fence.
Can I help you with?
You know? To me, I don't really
this.
like the fence.
I agree. If you go a little bit up north, the schools aren't like that.
Exactly.
And chain link isn't necessarily cheaper nowadays either.
No, but you know how they put that iron fencing up front on the schools?
Uh-huh.
You know, when I went there, there was no fence, you know?
Oh, we can't get away with, like, now even some of the schools that, there's some newer ones, which one did we have to modify? Ocean View? Because, and Willow's, I think Willow's done. But you have to be able to go through the office. Every school now. And you have to be completely secured, and you have to go through the office. So like Willow, which is, the office is quite a ways off the street. And that's gonna look kind of like a sally port almost, because you have to have it, that whole pasillo, you have to have it fenced in to make sure that people go that way into the office and then out.
Where is the office?
In Willow, it's from the street.
Like, I know where the library is
It's on
at.
so the library is here and the office is over here. But it's quite a bit away from the street entrance. Middle school too, it's like I always like the first couple times I went there, I was like, where?
And los colors también depressing in la middle school.
And it doesn't say office, right? So you walk in, they buzz you in, and you walk in and you're
It's
like,
just a room.
now where do I go? So imagine somebody just wandering in,
It's easy to
they just start opening like that first building, which you would think is office, as a classroom building.
Mhm. Do you go to the bond oversight committees from here too? From San Ysidro?
I do as often as I can. Nomás me teaching. So here, it's different than the other school districts. Here we based on your interest, or like, I don't know what the other parameters are. Like usually those kind of committees, one board member is like, oh, okay, you go to this, just so you can kind of like know what's happening. I found them useful, like even before I was on the board, I would go to EPAC and ULAC and stuff like that. Because if you just stick to your campus, like I always thought, so my kid was at Smythe, and I always thought, oh, look, Vista Del Mar and Ocean View, they're new and they get all this stuff. And then you realize that isn't really the case, nomás porque se ven bonito de afuera.
Pero sí aprobaron cuántos billones en la Ocean View y la middle school, que bien poquito, 6.6.
Because
And it's a newer school.
over there we have to add classrooms. So Vista Del Mar wasn't fully built. I mean, it's one of the reasons I first ran, because stuff was like that. Vista Del Mar hasn't been fully built out. They ran out of money. That's like Fire was never rebuilt. They knocked it, instead of modernizing, they wanted to build new. So they completely knocked it down. And after they got knocked it down, they ran out of money.
That's
It's been like that ever since.
So where did that money go to?
That's superintendent.
So there was that series of superintendents. Then because they ran out of bond money, they did these loans, like private commercial loans, like you would get for your house, to do the projects at La Mirada and Smythe. So that's way more expensive than using bond money.
What are they gonna do with the CDC? I heard they wanna do something with teachers.
They're gonna move it.
No, but like,
Well, there?
yeah, esa propiedad, ¿qué quieren hacer?
It's not a whole lot, unless, so people have approached us to do employee housing. The thing is, it's not a huge chunk of land, so you'd have to build up, but building up is expensive. And then here, like based on so the school district doesn't have to follow the community plan like commercial development does. But I think we approved like 3 stories max. Other than more than 3, you have to get a variance. It's like, it's more difficult. Plus it would look weird.
I think it's a really good location, pero no me quisieron meter dinero, ya están los planes, but it's a good location. Right now enrollment's really low, but because of COVID.
Yeah, and then,
That's a big
the other one is, when they started universal TK, they put in a provision that you have to use, permanent classroom. So you can't use we can still use modular, but not for the little ones. Right, so those buildings are kind of getting to the end of life. So then if we're gonna put them in permanent, then it would just make sense to do la mirada is one stuff.
¿Y dónde los van a meter?
I can't remember, but I think it's on the west side. That west side classroom building isn't,
Como donde están los trailers.
yes.
No, vengo desde Liberty Station.
So they're gonna be far, far away en la pura esquina los niños más chiquitos.
Well, that's the other thing, they have to be separate and they have to be fenced
There's an
separate.
accident.
Have their own playground.
Yeah, to have it and again, to avoid people just walking in.
L Street.
How long is that gonna take? Like 2 years?
Most construction is taking 2 years.
And I came in.
And then, all plans have to be approved by for all schools, even from preschool through colleges, have to be approved by the state. So once we have our plans and we send them to the state, it takes about 6 months in total. By the time they get them and say, oh, redo this or redo that, send them back to us, and we send them back and final approval, that takes 6 months alone.
But I feel the same.
So then you wanna have, you wanna
Earlier, so.
be following the process so that once you're getting near approval, to be able to start purchasing and constructing and having everything staged.
What about your seat? Are you guys gonna have a special election?
No, it's still special.
What are you guys gonna do? Who? The people that ran?
No,
You have to apply?
you have to apply.
Christmas shopping list.
And how does it work? When are they gonna talk about that? The next, tomorrow?
Yeah, I already said it would be nice if, like, the first 3 elections in the United States, there was no ticket. You ran. If you came in first, you were the president. If you came in second, you were the vice president. So there was no ticket, so parties and everything, right? So I was like, we should just do it that way, but
It's all or nothing.
that's it.
It's only fair. But how, who's gonna vote on it?
State constitution. That's a,
So it's,
those are.
I emailed Irene yesterday.
So the only thing that we have two options. It's special election, which is too expensive, and appointment, which is, you can't just take,
Presidency.
Peter, I think, was third, so you can't just take him from this past election and put him. There has to be a process, so that's what
we're gonna talk about.
discuss tomorrow.
The thing is, depends on the course, when they get there.
I feel proud of you. Mr. Trump. Or other things, you can only be office.
Yes.
And you gotta take the president, so.
yeah, I was all disappointed when I went to the game. I was like, oh no, los de la Marvista, yo sigo con lo mismo. Los de la Marvista, yeah, they were like, and I was like, las cheerleaders, yo venía aguitada, ¿no? Las cheerleaders, ay, tomándose fotos, and I'm like, girl, like, are you supposed to be the hype man? Like, who is the coach here? Y las de la Southwest, no manches, esas sí traían ganas de ser, and I was like, oh my God, qué vergüenza, like, you know, pónganse las pilas, pero los players sí se la rifan. Pero les faltó, pues, como si no tienen band que los haga hype up. Quieras o no, I think that does hype them up.
So also it has to do with, I mean, I don't know, it's case by case. Also, it has to do with the community right there, because there might not be kids that want to do it. I'm sure there are, but I don't know. I'm not an expert yet
On the truth.
on like how many band members you get to feel the band. How many of this or how many of that or like, that part I'm not sure. I think that I don't think that the marching band is funded through LAPA. I think it's funded as athletic. So it's a different pot of money, which I'm sure there is. I think because I mean that's a staple. Like a football team, a band, a basketball team, you know. Like, so, but I don't know if there's not enough kids. That's the other one.
You can't make it.
Schools, if they were interested.
I bet they could. I mean
How
that's
many students
easy.
is there at there?
At
San Ysidro High.
San Ysidro?
I always think.
Wait, do they don't have a band yet?
At San Ysidro High? I don't think so. I did not see one.
It's just.
San Ysidro has 1,200.
Wow. That's a lot.
Like at the middle school, we had a marching band. We had a theater program. We have a band room full of instruments. And
But no band.
kids. No, they're just starting mariachi as an after school. We also lost the teacher that put that top band, and he was pretty good at recruiting kids. But you know, there was 2 teachers and they both retired. And you kind of lose that because one of them was like he would go out and get kids. But we have the instruments. We have the band room.
Since I
I don't remember if,
started to.
back a few years ago, I don't know if San Ysidro or Middle,
My
who
kids,
kept come out of the parade right there in Chula Vista.
little ones.
You know?
And
I don't remember what
they're-
school was it,
because
if it
they're-
was high school or.
Their generations,
But yeah,
I started to get more in the technology because I say I need
as
to
a
know
parade.
because.
Which got more parades.
Yes.
Oh,
and that's the thing,
remember when
I need to-
the parade used to go down
Yeah.
the Civic Center?
Yeah.
There, right in front of the Civic Center, you know? And then they put us back.
You guys used to have them in the boulevard?
Used to go, come
I-
out Olive,
And I like it.
Olive
It's pretty easy to get, if you're.
Yeah.
down, and they go down to, Cottonwood,
55 on.
down to San Ysidro Boulevard, and then
I
to
know,
Southern
but
Calais.
only a couple that know.
Yeah, that one.
You know, the computers.
I remember being in one when we were on a boulevard.
My daughter, like I said, she's.
Cause the Navy marching bands to come in and, you know,
But she got.
real.
And I remember Fiestas Patrias used to be pretty big at Larson Fields.
They first started right there with suits in the park, and then it got so big that they had, they moved it down there.
To learn from others, from other sources.
Yeah, that's just it. It's just some challenge.
Fiestas Patrias for what, like what season is that? Like in, how, I mean,
Or yeah, Mexican independence.
oh, okay, okay.
I enjoy it.
Those, I remember those used to be big.
Yeah, where the apartments are, it used to be the parking lot,
Yeah.
and then you put all the rides
Yeah,
on.
that's what really necessary. You have to do real,
Pero mi señora sí.
Pero los de estos, los parades de qué?
I remember there was 4th of July and then it was Fiestas Patrias.
I don't want to do that.
They had the Manejo Histórico. I think the one I remember being in, and the one that was on the boulevard was 4th of July.
Yeah, you get all these,
I have a.
rancheros.
Yeah. One of my uncles was, yeah, they used to come on. There used to be, the last horses I remember still being were on Black Shop,
I guess it's just a.
on that side of Averill. There's a rancho right there. I remember that's the last time, and because I remember we were at a party and one of the horses got out.
Where? On Averill, donde está un lote baldío ahí todavía?
Bro, it's on the south side of Black Shop, west of Averill.
There's that apartment on-
Is it?
Now, there's like.
I haven't been on that side of the street in a while.
Ay, yeah, really?
It's because that's where it dead ends, so I was like, hey.
Okay, so it's in la Black Shop? Que es
Yeah,
una dead end?
on Black Shop,
Oh,
yeah.
never mind, I was
So,
thinking more on
On the
Averill.
block where it dead ends, so if you're facing the dead end,
Patient with it.
goes, so the rancho's right here.
Oh, yeah, there's some apartments. At that dead end.
Comes around, you know, twice a month or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why-
we do also,
Come.
On the other side of the freeway,
Just to be.
when you go to this house, when you do Chanel there,
That's what all that's still there. But I remember
Yeah.
on this side, that was the last place I remember there being.
One is going.
You're good. You're good.
And, the other one is,
yeah, those were like fun days, man.
Big
You ready to
fish
vote?
in our school.
Yeah.
He just signed up yesterday and I took that at our. Thank you. We're having two on way.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Keep me pretty busy. Medically, I don't know where I have to shell out the money. You know,
No, I only, my kids are in college, and one is turned 20, the other one is just turned 22.
yeah, you were saying. You never know.
That's just how, like what?
Yeah,
But it's a great experience.
yeah, and I say, I tell them that I don't mind if you don't, if I don't.
I noticed it.
Consuelo. You study, your life, and whatever you want to travel.
Buenas noches, aquí en mi clase.
You just have to pay you, you're young enough.
Did your grandpa had a house right there where the Americas?
Sí,
You know,
tengo mi amiguito.
because I know,
I don't think so.
that is this, I know my wife.
So-
Had our first child.
I don't remember there being one down there. They have,
¿Cuánto puedo votar por uno, dos o cuántos?
So if you're going on calle Primera,
First one's
Ay, Consuelo.
waiting like 6 years for the next one. So,
No se dice. Ay, no.
so if you're going on calle Primera towards the warehouses, so where that first turn is,
yeah.
the motel's right here, that empty lot. If you keep going straight, it's a dirt road. I think it's the motorhomes are right there. They own the houses that are on that like unimproved road. Que luego están otros, unos depas.
Yeah, but I mean,
But no, I don't think,
They only have
way back, like,
2 kids.
late sixties.
And,
they might have, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
they don't have any kids.
Se le va a dar
And then,
Sí.
So listen.
Here.
Yeah, they had a house right there.
You know,
Where the Americas,
I think you're right. That was before my time. You know, I think
How old are you?
they 45. They talk about houses and streets that and then
my parents used to rent a house from my grandfather.
él es Junior entonces. Sí, I had to do a double take. I was like, wait a minute. Con el señor Pérez.
I do enjoy.
I thought you were showing me that.
I'm already.
Because we have to verify that they're, but they don't have to.
Yeah, like, what is it? Are you guys gonna give out beer or what?
For the, like, by now we know who's on the list. Is it?
So se van a presentar so we know who they are to vote for
No.
them or no?
Everything I don't have anymore. But
Like the original
I
store,
had like.
ya no existe, so it was for the 805 is. So that's how they got that other property. We got eminent domain.
I know people that.
Right there, well, I remember, right, when the 805 is at, used to be a Portillo's right there. And I can't remember what else was there, but then you kept walking,
It's a great experience.
west or north or whatever. No competition, you have border markets.
No, Border Market was us.
You guys were border market?
Yeah. And then so the state, when pusieron el 805, they took that property and they gave us where the store is now. And then that's when he changed the name.
Oh.
He bought it, ya existía. Cuando él llegó ya existía and he bought it from, I don't know from who. Pero le quedó Border Market.
Era un galerón que estaba ahí.
Yeah. So originally it was he bought Border Market, and then when they had to move, es cuando cambió el nombre.
Con decirte que en la chino para estar en la ceremonia de apertura.
And then my mom's side of the family, they live right down from you, the Almanza. So from where you're at, it's done the apartments, and then the property on that side.
That's good.
So that was my mom's side. Is my mom's side.
Part of all the work, been working and studying. The same.
Al principio era
The same people.
Y que, like, for example, Jason Wells no ha estado aquí en muchas juntas, right? But his name's still on here.
Yes.
El Goyo está, ¿cómo se llama aquí? No está.
Goyo is not up for election. So it's,
He's done.
so
Ya no quiere Goyo.
it's half. No, so it's usually half every 2 years, right? So last time I think we did 8. The reason there's more seats open right now is because people have resigned or have left.
¿Para qué? ¿Qué ya no aquí? Sí, todavía no lo he echado porque quiero ver quiénes son las otras personas.
So elections are every even year. So it's only, there's 15 board members, so there'd be 8 at one time.
What y'all been doing lately?
What's going on?
Because
Is that my phone?
we have vacancies.
Sorry. Because you have vacancies. Okay. Okay, so Alejandro Farias, who's that? Oh, okay. You see, that's why I want to know who I'm voting for. All right, Alejandro. Jason's not here, right?
Correct.
Paula Redondo.
Gifted education.
The
This
guy
gentleman
with
right
this?
here you were talking to, well, no, he might have been the first one here.
Stan Morrison's not here?
He just emailed me he's sick, but his dad just came to vote.
His dad?
His
Oh,
dad
he's
just
been here
came.
before? ¿Es el business owner? ¿O el güerito es una? Who's the business owner?
No, I don't think, I hadn't seen him, pero cuando vi el nombre, I was like, wait.
Okay. Consuelo es la señora mayor de allá donde vive.
Stan voted, was one of the ones that voted no on the Casa Familiar project last time. He usually sits right here, younger guy with glasses and a hat.
No lo vi.
He usually sits right
Yeah, she used to work.
¿Y Maritza Chavarín?
there. Maritza's right here.
Okay, Consuelo, ¿quién es?
Consuelo's over there.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay,
This is
okay, okay.
Maritza.
Okay. So who do I can listen to?
Them.
The guy in the
So
jean
they're,
jacket?
yeah, they're in charge because they're not on the board.
And then she also established that.
So Goyo, Alberto, Alfredo, and
They're done.
they're not up until 2020.
That's-
Six.
None of the founder of this, the only co-founder.
I think the only one that wasn't going for re-election was Mr. Friedman.
And now, she just, had her 101st birthday.
Pues,
I don't know.
sí, que tiene todos.
My grandma, that's a 96 and I say.
Más, no, fue,
No, I didn't get.
sí, porque fue despuésito de la
That's what I told her. You're better. I like the wish. I got 10 more years to go.
Y viajan mucho, ¿verdad? Viajan mucho. Sí, Andrea.
Todo el tiempo. Y ya cuando se va no viajar, se va a la semana. Es un lugar favorito.
I know, I was raised all my time. And ever since 57, we across the world.
Sí,
Yo nunca he ido,
Raised here,
pues es que
Byers School, you know,
el viejo Vallarta, pues desde chiquito.
Sunset.
Yo he ido a toda esa costa. También era bien salvaje antes.
And I never wanted to leave, yeah. So
Nosotros íbamos mucho a Nayarit,
I feel like this is
como
home.
media hora. El Laje, el Guayabón de Guayabí.
¿Sabes quién tiene?
Ahora de Navidad.
Tiene unos primos.
This came in
1929.
2009.
En cada temporada, cuando quieras, ahí la tienen uno de
San Ysidro.
cuando vayas con suelo. Y después, ya no más de
It's nice to feel that way. I have a chance to be this thing.
All inclusive.
Dicen que
When
también hay
you're
aeropuertos escondidos muy bonitos.
tengo acaba de ir y
Then I want to make it.
los brazos, o que se me-
I don't know what where I invested my
la playa.
better years.
Corrientes por salir.
Because I feel like my mom started out
Pero
before the family.
está yendo al
It was getting to be a real bad
Se está yendo a vivir allá.
dirt streets and
No.
esa Mónica que estaba chiquilla. Además, nos pidan la green card aquí también. Por todo lo que pero estando allá, y vamos a los vehículos a revisar. De un marido del secretario, que iba a revisar en Vallarta. Y luego nos íbamos dos días a ver si tenía. Y luego 2 días a San Ysidro del mes. Diferentes vales.
¿Qué problema? Voy a agarrar una mesita de esta. Sí, a ver, Jote. No, pues, para que no se mire. No puedo. No pasa. Pero está bien bajito. Bueno.
yeah, my daughter did it. I said, Lord.
Tenía la fuente,
People ask her, you know, are you from Mexico? I said, born and raised in Christina. She says, you know, well, that's, I'm like my grandma.
Por la agenda.
Put my time in. Are you registered? I see it for all.
Solo que no sé qué.
They're not really proud, you know. And, like my professor, you know, 2 kids, one of them across the border, and the mom.
y es que está cerquita el volcán de
It's in the flood.
Entonces,
No, está como media hora. Dice que algunos de ahí se inspiran de
de todas las haciendas.
El volcán que dice no es el volcán que.
O sea, sí. Pero no es el que llegó, pues se fue de Lima, nomás vino.
Yo ya fui,
Pero bueno, sí, pero Rudy ya se puede hacer que tomo los ahorita no me importa.
O sea que destruyeron
no varios pueblos de San Juan.
Porque son 15 miembros de lo que estamos hablando. Son 15 miembros y 8 de ellos como que se van, se les vence. Bueno, sí, todavía no comienza. Ok, sale, aquí te esperamos. Vamos.
Así media hora
Uy, tenía una llamada perdida.
Es un poquito, ¿verdad?
Escucha los poquitos de las canciones. Juega y llega y son 4 casas. Una placita. Sí.
Yeah, my daughter, her second grade.
Prepara con todo violencia porque está bien bonito mucho.
Igual en Chiapas.
Ah, me habló otra vez.
Oh, yeah. She graduated as an anthropologist.
A ver.
She wanted to get a job at the zoo. Like that. But she went for the environment.
No, es que sí.
It's like,
Camera.
and seeing it. Hey, you know, nobody's works in the department. It's a free one, oh, yeah. No, it's like something really way away.
Sí,
Night shift.
Pues es que no, imagínate, pero
I always do you.
pero sí, y hay como buenas personas.
Va a haber gente más.
Can she get one too?
Yeah, she's in the list.
Okay. ¿Y el Rudy? Se fue. Ah, ok.
I don't see that many numbers. I don't know where they are.
Hi.
6:30.
What was your name? Are you on the ballot?
No.
Oh, okay.
Put it in the bag.
Sí. Pero sí, y una vez cuando Andrea nos rentó una casa en Colombia, y a todos los que hicieran ir.
Always the whole time. Yeah, I
Conozco.
think it's,
No, no.
what is it? That's about right.
Oh, well, you're not telling me. Nobody cared about any of them.
There's some now that depending on how they're funded. So they're trying to produce agriculture is one of them. There's several programs that now require you to track the first year 13. So whoever, you finish this project, the year after you graduate, they have to reach out to you. Did you complete your first year? Did you complete the first 2 years? Out in the field? I was like, why would they ask that? You know, there's 5 questions. That's like, incarcerated.
No, pues pasa.
And it's like, it's cool because the thing
6 chickens.
They're not gonna fund it.
I think it's the same.
And that's what they wanna check, like, because that's so they're having. So they have 12, and they have 3 subs that you can fit around. So the ones that aren't foresight, they go, well, like you're gonna be assigned to this school, right? So the ones that are kind of the rovers or subs, when they're not at the subs, they're at the places, which is a district facility. So kids can go in there and make appointments and then kind of get, so they can do x-rays, they do ultrasound. The only thing they don't do is MRI. Well, like, yeah, so, and that's the thing now, at all the campuses, they have one of these. That's kind of like a physical therapy. They have 3 of them up there. One at each campus. All the other stuff is like, So you're gonna see a lot of other.
Yeah. Awesome.
Is it too late to get on the list?
No,
What do you need her ID?
I do.
Okay.
Gracias.
I'm so happy for you. I honestly.
¿Esa es la dirección actual?
Sí.
No, que yo te la
Para que nos interesen, para que nos estacionaran.
Sistema de la casa.
Porque no te lo. Según.
Ahorita lo voy a poner en la lista, nada más que decidió hacer su update ahorita. Entonces ya le puede pedir todo.
Y si como un handicap cualquier.
Eso sí.
Se pone súper peligro. Pero me ayudaron a escribir 8. Pero tú me pagaron. Para que me mandaran. Eso fue. Ya ves. Pero es la palabra. No, para que no
He did not communicate one way or the other.
A little while now. I've been talking about the team pathways.
Yes.
Are you familiar with doing what matters?
No.
Sure. That's the guidance program.
Doing what matters? Is that what you said?
Doing what matters. I used to chair the California Structural Quality Commission. Every day, and we need to coordinate that with community college. And what's important about that is the distribution of kids at the high school level. Those are key.
We did the sports medicine, the tourism and hospitality, and then they briefed me on the journal broadcasting, because that's what Bruno wants to do.
So one of the things that Doing What Matters initiative tries to do is they try to make it so that it's responsive to the local industries as well as the community. Like a lot of the high schools are cybersecurity right now. That's what I did at my last.
Uy, sí, ¿verdad?
And their kids are getting jobs right out.
Pobrecita la sencilla. Apenas el año pasado la trataron.
That's why they want to track, you know, have you, your first year out of high school, have you spent the year in the field or have you spent the year studying?
That's part of the new initiative because they want to know how effective it is.
Yeah.
But
Donde quiero que me pongan el speaker meeting, ya está automáticamente en mi computadora, no me lo sé de memoria. Está bien. ¿Él lo va a detener, no?
Lo vi aquí la otra vez. ¿Qué no estaba aquí, Robert? El wifi. Ahí
Oh.
está. Ay,
Ahí está. At least you found it. There you go.
Bien trabajado.
Para que se acabe el año.
Y ahorita venía de las
Ay, usted también viene de por allá. No, ya hay citas y eso es practicar que se hace.
hice como una hora.
Hice una
Oh,
hora.
and I forgot to tell you that for that level with internships, one of the things they also track are like internships. Because part of that.
El lunes fue el único día que no, porque el otro día festivo. Mucha gente no
La escuela,
Son las escuelas que cierren ya.
Y las oficinas.
I didn't realize how many programs. Yeah.
It's just a matter of where you want to focus everything. And as you know, you could have
Y yo voy para allá con
community colleges, but
yo voy para allá, voy para el
the classes
casi
are
todos los
en la mañana a lo mejor no
Fue
son
una
tan.
electric vehicle hybrid.
Es hybrid, mi carro.
Ajá.
No, sí. No, en la mañana estaba.
También, así
Claro, pues es el.
sí, sí, cierto. Es el tráfico para
Prefiero
allá.
venir a San Ysidro primero y luego irme un
Y
poco
luego ya
más
irse
tarde.
más tarde. Sí, pues sí.
Yo vivo en el centro y pues vengo a San Ysidro y voy al revés.
Tú vienes al revés, sí, te tienes que salir.
Venía de de allá y a las 5. No, salí a las 4:30 y llegué aquí tarde.
Bueno, pues,
6:30, but you guys are in charge, so you call it. Generally, you make an announcement at 6:30, polls are closing.
Everybody, 6:30, closing the polls.
And then, myself and Maritza need 2/3. So I hope you know how to do math.
We'll figure it out.
Who?
Marty?
Yes.
She said she was gonna be here before or by 6. How many? 15.
Sí.
Where does school board retreat?
Fifth Avenue, kind of side towards the height.
Oh, yeah.
On Fifth and
And also like the old school.
Calamar Rancher.
The office is working. I think another.
You know what? I think I went in.
Yeah.
So we were at the L Street facility, where the social security is now. That's like nice big, people been already on it. There you go.
nice piece of property. I think what I've heard is new office buildings. There's plenty of, so like the space we were in where the CTE programs are, you walk in and it's a warehouse. Yeah, ceilings completely open, you know, there's none of that, and they just put cubicles. It looks kind of weird because it's all like, you know, industrial space. So, I noticed, I was looking on the ground, and, there's all kinds of different floors. I was like, you know, it used to be a floor, it was a showroom. So it would be like, oh, there's some.
On Broadway and Elm?
In between industrial and Broadway.
And Broadway, yeah, I know the place, but I know what it used to be. That's the building.
Yeah, so that's one of them. So they have sports programs, CTE, the art program. DAPA was the original performing art. So all the admin, those programs are there. And that's where they have.
Is this?
It's not, you know, I don't pick one else.
So you just went?
So they're offering me.
You know what I mean?
Come check this out, come check that out.
You're like, yeah.
Hay una línea que puedes llamar para que si ves
And then a little while. In front of the but it's on our side. It was more on our side of the street. Right in front of us. Yeah, I just but you know what? But then about a half hour later, a little bit later, they were in front of Admiral's helping somebody else, both the ambulance and the fire. Right in front of, no, somebody else. Helping somebody there. I must have been something.
cuando quieras yo voy y
Same one. I was trying to figure out.
de veras tengo una
No, in front, right on the street, right in front of Metro, right in front of Metro PCS. They were parked there. It didn't seem like they were in action or anything, but they were helping somebody there. Yeah, but it was so weird because I had just seen the other and then all of a sudden this one. Money isn't here, they got money isn't here, we just closed the minute, we just closed the. Oh, good. And I picked up two, I'm gonna have to contact Dr. Morales, because he didn't see that.
yeah, we're in
Yeah. No, they get up on that. Yeah, but I didn't get the
I can't vote. Yo no puedo votar. Siento que no. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, ¿bien y tú?
¿Ya votas?
Ya votamos. ¿Tú? ¿Que se tarda la votación?
No, pienso que no puedo votar.
Claro que sí, ¿no? ¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué? Porque you're time runner.
Porque represento a mi mujer. No sé. Por eso no voté, porque no sé, es como. I mean, that's really. Is it? Yes. Is it bad protocol? I vote.
For,
Yeah, but they're gonna tie it up.
I imagine so.
there's no problem. There's the voting members of
Yeah, that's
So
probably-
voting on agenda items?
probably what the most-
So it's only the 15 people.
All right.
So voting in the election, you could have it there registered as president.
Yeah, everything is. All right,
But to vote on the agenda, you have to be one of the 15. Plus,
I feel like it's a combo.
it would be a couple, like Victoria, when she was in office, ran for board member, but she couldn't because she was working for David, which is. So, when you get a new job. If he can vote.
oh, he can't.
I don't.
Either way, you would have to be a voting member, which is what this election is. For the voting members. Huh? Ah,
Pero si han abierto varios y los cierran varios. No tienen paciencia. Tienen que entender que los negocios siempre son buenos. La gente consume, y cuando va la gente, ya va más. Está como ellos fueron bien resistentes,
Nomás tengo mi laptop aquí. Acá hay otro también, mira. De nada.
Apenas si ves las cosas y ya estás bien.
Tienen que programar. La gente tiene que programar. El capital. Ya, por eso deben de bañar primero antes de porque yo cuando lo hago, me aguanta.
Hasta las 7, 8. De veras, por eso a pedir por pago. Sí, para los pagos. ¿De dónde? De sacar.
Pero que batallas el pobre ya me tiene.
Es parte de la Oye, una pregunta. Porque los que cambian las profesiones, ya no el acción tallaron mucho.
Era Outback.
Outback no duró.
That was an Outback.
The design is Outback.
Yeah. You check it out.
So yesterday we went to Felipe's and I beat. Was there a Felipe's here, right?
There was Felipe's here. It was, where the Dollar Tree is in front of the bank. That used to be a Felipe's. Many years ago.
Todavía falta, pero mínimo ya
The actual Dollar Tree, that building, that was.
Yeah, but you know which one? You know where I thought it was? Do you remember where? I think it's a casa de cambio now, but it used to be a Chinese buffet on the boulevard.
Enfrente del. ¿Dónde está el estaba la y otra casa de
Sí. So on the boulevard, on San Ysidro Boulevard, like kind of where like Internacional where the mobile was, and frente, and it faces west. There's the long line of shops, and then there's one like this. They used to be a Chinese restaurant. What was it before the Chinese? I thought that was also the Chinese. I thought that's where Felipe was. Yeah, Chinese, but it was some, I remember it was one of those places we used to go to.
But I know Felipe was in South Dollar.
Había enfrente de la bodega, estaba el indio.
Yes.
Y ahora ya me
Pues,
encanta.
ese era el que era Roberto, ¿no? Estaba los first Roberto, y luego porque Roberto nació de tortillería, de un taco shop, y luego se fueron, or they moved,
Yeah,
to where Yum Yum was, right? And then Indio went
Bueno,
as a tortillería only.
yes, yo me acuerdo la
And the sushi place used to be Guadalajara de Noche.
sí, eso es como
And the taco shop used to be Nopalito. Oh, yeah. And then we went to where Cuéntanos was before it was Nopalito. Sí, ay, el otro día fuimos. Yeah. No. They do, but that's all. I don't have, they don't give me keys. There's a water fountain, there's a water jug outside, there should be, like right outside the door. Is it public service?
Bueno.
No pueden ir 2 horas porque
¿Ah? ¿No? No. I'm just saying we haven't started. Before you leave, or if you leave early, I have a question. The wine.
¿Sabes qué? Creo
We
que
have a thing at the
cuando la
wine.
cerramos,
Last year they or to Sacramento, but I don't know where
porque mira,
this year they started at the wine. So there's a portion where they're gonna walk through the border.
Okay.
And I don't think they have symptoms. I wanted to see if they get-
mueven de 2 pisos y medio.
There's only 2 guys that are gonna actually do the walk. Because I know for the Calibaca,
Ahí es donde donde hay una casa de cambio, ahí tenía una casa de cambio.
because we don't know, you know, it's gonna be the 18th, the 14th. So I don't know if it's 9 or 9 of November. I know it's kind of hot, but, and there's something.
Y
I can get you all the
el
info.
cambio lo querían para
Okay.
casa de cambio, entonces le dijeron,
You need to write this out.
Yeah. Right, read it into the record.
y es como se metió en el negocio. Y luego abrieron la oferta enfrente. Ahí tú trabajando.
75?
Pero estás hablando de
No, 2/3. Oh, 2/3.
del indio que tú.
Entonces.
Still no.
¿Alguien sentado aquí?
Para comprar más.
Ah, okay.
Ahora yo voy a hacer esto.
¿Alguien sentado?
¿Hasta dónde vas? ¿Vas al niño de allá o no?
Sí, hasta ahí.
I have to time out to that because they have a 24 hours to contest it. And then after 24 hours, but I'll announce. Oh my goodness.
Cuando la tocas, está muy esponjosa. Y cuando vas a
Sí. Todos fuera.
Ay, pues porque incluso cuando vas haciendo los tamales.
Voy a comprar el indio.
Está muy lindo.
Giancarlo,
Y vas a
en el indio no hacen.
Había algo ahí, por eso.
Okay. The ballots have been counted and we are ready to get underway. Mr. Freeman, I heard you say that you were gonna stick around for a while, but your term is up in 2026.
My term was up in 2024.
I had you before that. Mr. Wells had you just a different, so. You wanna stay there? Okay. We're gonna call the meeting to order at 6:47. And I will take the roll. Mr. Arredondo.
Here.
Mr. Kenyo.
Here.
Ms. Chavarin.
Here.
Mr. Delgadillo.
Here.
Mrs. Espinosa.
Here.
Mr. Friedman. Until we certify the elections are still. I'll mark it as here. For
I
purposes.
started with the COVID
For pur-
breakdown and my term expired. And we held on to the term, we held on to the current board until it could be resolved. At the time, then the city decided to change all the planning groups and had to go through a whole nother process. And my term was up and I chose not to continue.
I'm going to mark you here for purposes of quorum and getting to the election results. Lopez is here. Mr. Morrison is sick. Mr. Ortiz.
Here.
Mr. Perez.
Here.
Mr. Ripa.
Here.
Mr. Wells. Not here. Item number 2 is the approval of the published agenda. You have, or I sent the agenda out. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Ms. Chavarin. Mr. Ripa seconds. All those in favor? Anybody opposed? Thank you. For approval of the minutes, in the center of the table is a copy of the July minutes. August and September would be with Mr. Wells. And in October, we did not have it. As soon as you all have had it, I'll give you a few minutes to look it over. And I'll entertain a motion to approve once you've looked it over.
Stan's not here, but it was my memory that he abstained.
I know, he voted.
Okay.
I think you were the only abstention on that one.
Mr. Chair, there's a misspelling, San Diego, B, San Diego Housing Division. They said here.
San Diego.
Yeah. Mr. Perez, can you make a motion and then we will take the edits under discussion?
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept minutes with discussion.
Is there a second? Mr. Redondo. Okay, we have one edit under docket item 4B. Any other? Yes.
My last name's spelled right there, Z instead of
Then it's spelled, oh, is it a,
SFR.
there are two S's?
No, it's a Z.
It's a Z, so I misspelled it. I'll spell it different ways. Also on item B, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Never misspelled names. It's a complicated last.
What item are you under already?
2B,
So I wanted to appoint myself for the vacancy?
we're not there.
Oh, not there yet? We're for, okay. Because I heard you say Ms. Pales. I thought you were saying something.
We're on approval of minutes.
Okay.
Are we ready to vote? So there's a motion and a second to approve the July minutes with 2 corrections. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. Now we're on public comment on matters not on the agenda. See none, we're gonna move on to the docket items. Item A is the results of the special election. I have the results here, and I'll ask the newly elected members to come and take a seat at the table. Mr. Farias, Ms. Perez, you can come and join us. You have been, what she did?
2?
Marcia?
Oh, yeah, she was outside, no?
Okay, so everyone on the, everybody that had not served 8 years or more on the ballot was elected. Myself and Ms. Chavarin had to receive more than 2/3 vote. I received 88%, and Ms. Chavarin, you received 61%, meaning 67.
Okay.
But you should stay just in case. So, we continue to have, we have more than the one vacancy I thought we were gonna have. We have at this time 3 vacancies. 3 vacancies. Yes.
No, it's just.
So we're gonna move on to item B. Mr. Farias and Marcia should come in. You can now vote with the board. We have appointment to fill. I had put 1 vacancy, but we have more than one. And I believe we have 2 members here that would like to be considered for appointment. If you want to be considered for appointment, please raise your hand. Okay, I couldn't see your hand, I'm sorry. Can you please both state your names?
Roxanne Palestino?
Marty Wilton.
Okay, and then Roxanne, you are a resident of San Ysidro?
Yes, sir.
And Marnie, you are a business
owner.
Business owner. So the way we can do it, which is easier because we only have 2
nominations and we have more than 2 vacancies, we can take it as one item if you wish to do that. Otherwise, we can do it one at a time. So the first person to make a motion, I'll take it. That's the way you want to do it.
Just make it one item.
Is that a motion?
Yeah.
Mr. Ripa. It's a motion to appoint Roxanne Palestino and Marnie Wilton to the board. Is there a second? I saw Mrs. Pina's hand. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Okay. You all may join us at the table now.
I'll just stay on the side.
She's the one that got elected. I don't know. She might not have understood that we were gonna have the meeting right after.
No, yo creo que no me molesta hasta
Okay.
How many is that number? Signing members?
Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for tonight.
Including Addison.
14.
We're down one.
We're still down.
Can I
We're still
appoint
down.
someone that's not here anyways?
No. And then Ms. Chavarina has to look at the bylaws, because I don't know if we can get around, I have to see what the bylaws say to see about, because we've served more than 8 years. So I'll look at the bylaws, that's what otherwise it would have been easy. So I'll look at what the bylaws say so that we can get that done. Item C is election of officers. We will go item by item. The first one is chair. There's 3 officer positions: chair, vice chair, and secretary. The chair leads the meetings, sets the agendas. Vice chair takes over for the chair in their absence, and the secretary is responsible for the minutes. I do not wish to continue as chair, so it's up for grabs. I'll remind you that Goyo is your vice chair. So
And I have to continue.
you can continue in however you'd
Yeah,
like.
you have to ask.
So basically, the motion would be to nominate someone to act as chair. That the person nominated would have to accept, and then we would do a second.
Well, I nominated Goyo, he was vice chair.
And I'll second it.
I don't want to overcommit. As it is.
You would have to accept. So I mean, you don't have to accept. We're waiting for you to accept.
Dictatorship.
Yeah. I'll finish this meeting for you.
Nobody else?
You're nominated.
Happy to nominate. Reluctantly accept.
Thank you. So there is a. Let me get all this. We need to disqualify you on a technicality. There is a motion and a second to elect Goyo Ortiz as the chair. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right. Vice chair, in case Goyo cannot make a meeting, you would be acting on his behalf. Same process, we'll take nominations and we'll wait and see if the nominee accepts.
I nominate Olga.
Yeah, I don't know if I can be here all the time, that's the problem.
Olga, did you decline? Do you accept?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll second.
To all of it?
Hold on once. So there is a motion and a second for Olga Espinosa as vice chair. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. Now secretary.
So what, the secretary is just in charge of the minutes?
Yes. Taking the minutes, having the drafts available for meetings.
I don't want to prove that, because she's good at that.
So there is a motion. I will second. All those, for Roxanne Palestino as the secretary, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? All right. Corey, I'll get with you during the break. We have a long break. Traditionally, we're dark in December. That means that the next regular meeting will be in January. So I'll pass you all of Michael's files. Our next item is to appoint representatives to external groups. We have, we get a seat at Full-Time Mesa Community Planning Group. They typically meet on, I think it's
Right now.
second Wednesdays. No, they meet. They're very business oriented, so they meet in the after. I think it's 3 p.m. on the second Wednesdays. Since COVID, I think they've been meeting almost exclusively on Zoom. If that makes a difference. There's some very interesting things that go up that happen up in Otay. It's Otay East, so a lot of the there is some residential housing being built. There's a lot of industrial development. It is interesting. I think I was the representative for 3 or 4 years.
I would be the representative for all time.
So I'll make a motion to appoint Alfredo Ripa as the
Second.
I think they did.
Today?
I think
Because I just talked to someone, he's like, I gotta go to the meeting for OTA.
I think that was Nestor.
so. There's 2 Otays. There's an Otay Nestor, which is over there.
Okay.
And this one's, it's technically not Otay East because Otay East is the county's. It's Otay Mesa. The other one's Otay Nestor. Otay. All those in favor of Alfredo Ripa as our representative to the Otay Mesa Community Planning? Aye. Anybody opposed? And then the last appointment would be our representative to the CPC. It is the Community Planners Committee. Usually it's the chair. It doesn't have to be the chair, but this is one step above us, where it's one representative from every community planning group in the city.
And when are those?
I just got on agenda. So it's next Wednesday, so that would make it the 3rd Wednesday of the month. It's at 6 p.m. and it is in Claremont at the planning department in Claremont.
Do they offer it via Zoom as well?
I don't think so. I think they've been, yeah.
It's just in person.
Yes.
How long is it?
They go to 8. So they have and they do stop. If things get if things go long, they do stop.
Only 2 hours.
Yes. And it's at the city facility in Carmel. Harold
Every drive?
Harold,
Harold
Harold.
What is it called again?
Community Planners Committee.
No one wants to go?
Have you been
Yeah, every now and then, when there's something juicy.
Like what's on the agenda now?
I'll give you an example. The agenda is Coastal Resiliency Master Plan, the Land Use Code, Land Development Code update, budget request to increase the stipend for some community planning groups. They have staff reports. So it's a chance to hear bigger projects that are happening throughout the city. Regional planning updates to the different codes that are used in planning and development.
You're like a voting member or you just have to show up?
No,
Presentation.
there's a form we have to fill out to say who's. And like that's traditionally the chair, but it doesn't
Oh,
have to
that's
be.
why. Do your job, William.
It's juicy. So I'll nominate Goyo Ortiz to represent us at CPC. Nominates a second.
So you gotta go, let's go.
All those in favor? Aye. Nobody opposed? Okay. Communications, announcements, and special orders from members of the public. I don't think we have anybody. Officer Lacara could not be here today. Lucero is not here. Giancarlo.
Okay. We have a few interesting things that will affect you coming up. One of those was today. We had a press conference with the members from the BTC at MTS, the District Attorney's Office, and then the offices of Councilmember Moreno, our office, Councilmember Stephen Whitburn, and Councilmember Igor Rivera. And this was a wildcatting campaign for Los Reiteros. And essentially, just to give you guys a quick update of what's going on there, MTS launched a marketing campaign with funds from the district attorney and also MTS's own funds. And if you go on Instagram, for example, or Facebook, there's a lot of ads out there that now say no to Reiteros, or no wildcatting, those types of things. And the objective of this campaign and the press conference that happened this morning is to give equal opportunity to the licensed taxi cab operators that make their living off of riding the taxis every day. And so the campaign is still ongoing, and the members of the BTC were very happy to be a part of it. And so hopefully we'll see good results from this. And if you know somebody who's a Reitero, tell them to get a license so they can continue working. We're not against people driving people, we're just against unlicensed operators driving people because it might present a safety concern for those passengers. And that was just this morning. The second important thing that will affect you is ESD hosting a second round of public forums regarding the city's trash study, which was as a result of the passage of Measure B in 2022. So if you're not aware, essentially the city is asking and getting public opinion about a cost recovery fee for trash and recycling services. So if you're a homeowner, or if you live in certain density apartments complexes, you will not have seen cost associated with your trash and recycling. But because of Measure B that passed in 2022, They are now opening up the opportunity for people to comment on that and the possibility of a cost recovery fee associated. It would approximately affect 285,000 properties. The forum for this will be in November at the San Ysidro Library. I did this thing this morning as well. I didn't put the date where it was the date. But let me pull up real quick. Tuesday, the 26th at 5:30 at the San Ysidro Library. I encourage you all to come.
What is it about? At the library, what is it?
5:30 on the 26th. And it's a public forum for Measure B on whether the city can and will charge you for trash and recycling services. 26th of November at the San Ysidro Library, 5:30. And this is open to the entire southern portion of the city of San Diego, so people from Barrio Logan, South Crest, anybody within the city limits, Costa Mesa, everybody's invited to come to the San Ysidro Library. So it's also a good opportunity for you to just meet other constituents.
Is there a flyer for that?
I think there is actually. I'll look and I'll share it with you afterwards.
Giancarlo, when is that date?
The 26th
Time?
at 5:30, San Ysidro Public Library.
5:30, right?
Yeah, that's an important one. And then two more things before we move on. We are on our last version of our memo to the mayor about the World War II Memorial Project. This is something if you've been involved with, Jack, the Friends of San Ysidro Library, they're making a strong push to help rebuild this memorial. Also, thank you to David Alvarez's office. They've been great help as well. And this memo is basically making the formal request, like, hey, give us the CIP so that we can put money in it and then we can build it. And it's just a nice way to put stuff back into our community. The last thing that will also affect you, and most likely you'll start to see as well, is drivers will no longer be allowed to park within 20 feet of an intersection all across California, starting January 1st. So, so essentially, they started this implementation for the purposes. This is not me saying I'm pro or against it, right? This is me. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? Because I already know how parking is here. But essentially, the state in an effort to give bicyclists and other pedestrian and other modes of transportation safety precautions, they're taking away the first 20 feet of an intersection so that when you're turning onto those intersections or away from it, they have more visibility for those cars and passengers. That being said,
So it's gonna be red curve.
they're trying to remove, yes, they're trying to put red curbs and remove meters and post no parking signs. They're not gonna start issuing citations until March 1st, but they will start issuing warnings starting January 1st. So there's gonna be like a 2-month grace period between January and March, because they're not gonna be able to put red paint all over the city within that time, or no parking signs. And so if you see something, why is my car being cited, or have a warning, it's for this reason, if it's parked near an intersection. The law, for anybody that would like to look it up, is AB 143, or excuse me, AB 413. AB 413. And that's all I have for today.
La semana pasada pasé por el bulevar, que pocas veces me meto por el tráfico, y noté que en la salida del freeway del 805 a San Ysidro Boulevard ya ves que está una barda alta con un mural. Estaba una montaña ya de basura ahí, que ya casi llegaba hasta la mitad de la barda, así. No sé a quién le toque limpiar eso.
De basura por la barda de las 8:06.
En la salida del freeway y San Isidro Boulevard. Exactamente.
Enseguida
del banco, de donde está el Banco de América.
Ok, esa salida.
Esa salida. No sé quién, hoy esta semana no he pasado, pero la semana pasada que vi, que tuve que pasar por ahí, la vi y dije, uff.
Sí, lo puedo reportar con Caltrans.
Which other one you can do that also? When you're going north also. On San Ysidro Boulevard going north, getting on the 805 where Seville's is.
Yeah, that's big.
Not inside Seville's, but on the Caltrans area. It's huge. It's really bad. I reported it to get it done, but I know it's Caltrans, and if you can help us with that, it would be really.
Yeah.
It's getting really bad.
Do you have the photos for that one?
I don't have the.
I think I took pictures that I have.
Yeah, it is really bad. But if you get on, like I said, you're going on you're going to go on to the 805 north from San Ysidro Boulevard. It's right there. I mean, right outside Seville's on the freeway side. Where Caltrans, it's really bad.
First, two patrol cars there Friday night. I thought they were in there. Clean it, but no.
There's a lot of encampments there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. It's really bad.
Border Village Drive behind the.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, they're so close.
Yeah, behind the Goodwill and behind that area, behind the duty free. On the freeway side, it's really bad.
Yeah.
And where the motel.
From the Kwanzaa Hut to the motel, the whole.
Yeah, that whole area. Yeah, that whole area. Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, these people that have these camps close to the freeway, they just ran over somebody this morning at Lemon Grove because they're so close to the freeway, they jump out and, they get run over. And then it's on the driver, that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but where do they never leave themselves?
Trash.
Yeah, if con te voy a revisar.
No, yeah.
Several months ago, Mr. Farias told us about the sidewalk on Vista Lane on the trolley side. I was full of dirt and tumbleweeds. And what was it, 2 weeks ago, the day after the new park ribbon cutting, the mayor was there with the trees they just planted, but they never cleaned up the dirt or the tumbleweed.
Exactly. Yeah, as a matter of fact, there's like 2 trees already dying there. Yeah.
So between Peaceful Lane and what is it, Albertson? So when it curves, wherever they dump all that stuff, so there's all the runoff from the trolley side, all the dirt. The dirt's covering the sidewalk, and then there's tumbleweed, so you can't use that sidewalk. So that, in that area, that's where they planted the 1,000th tree or whatever. Remember the presentation that they came and gave to us?
They actually saw it.
So they had the 1,000th tree, and there's like 7 or 8 trees there now. But they didn't talk about it.
Well, they told them already.
I'm gonna try to find it on.
I have the, I put it in that thing.
Get it done.
I'll send you the case number.
There's, no, you go ahead and send it to me. There's actually a separate number. I'll find it before the end of this meeting. Because this isn't the first case that this has happened with. And usually, from what I've experienced, they're pretty responsive. There's an online form separate from Get It Done, and there's also a phone number you can call. Both do the same exact thing. So you can report if your tree's dying or, I don't know, somebody hit it with a car or whatever, right?
Can you send that to me?
Yeah,
Can you send me? That's really.
What about,
There's-
would this be, sorry, go ahead.
No,
Have you seen this other one? It's kind of like, it's not on the freeway, pero it's like, you know those trailer parks that are before you get on the freeway? También está todo ese.
Off, Willow.
¿Dónde se quemó? No sé
The
si
Willow
se
Bridge,
quemó.
pedestrian bridge?
Yeah.
Sí, más
Por
o
abajito,
menos. Ajá, ya ves los trailer parks están por las casas de cambio.
Yeah.
Sí, también ahí está ese, pero ese no es parte de Caltrans, ¿o sí?
I think that's City of San Diego.
I didn't see. That's off Willow.
Yeah.
Gotta get it done.
Get it done.
We can continue.
Everybody report it, you want it out.
All right. Good for now? All right. We're, next on the list is Ernesto Casaneda, but he is unable to join us. So Christian Fuentes is here representing Chairwoman Vargas.
Hi everyone, my name is Christian. I'm interning for the Chairwoman Nora Vargas. So there is a meeting in Otay, and that's why Ernesto couldn't make it. But basically the quick updates is that we had our grants applications. We have the Neighborhood Investment Program, the Community Enhancement Program application. Basically, you have a nonprofit, you have a nonprofit. We have them every year. So the next ones are gonna open in July, in the end of July. We're just letting you know. We have an update about the Tijuana River Valley. The EPA basically has identified $2.7 million, and they're gonna use that money to buy more air purifiers. I know it's not the solution that we want, but we're getting there. We also, the APCD, which is the Air Pollution Control District, they're an agency that is in charge of the pollution. It's with many representatives from different cities and through the county. And basically they are gonna, they release a press release. I have it in here, or I can also link it to you. It's on their website under the Tijuana River Valley section. But basically what they're saying is that they put some mechanisms to monitor the smell of the Tijuana River Valley, right? They identified, I can give, does anybody want a copy of the press release?
I would love one.
Yes, but basically in quick summary, I was learning a lot. There is this chemical called hydrogen sulfide, and it's basically what makes it smell like Roranex. It's when something is getting like not working, when something is decomposing, that's the smell that we're getting, right? So they are using that in order to know how bad it is, and it's gonna be tracked like every day. So if you want more information, I recommend you to check the Air Pollution Control District. But yeah, that's all my updates for now. Yeah, I will send it to Rudy. Anything else?
Well, I didn't understand what you said about the nonprofit in the beginning. What was that? She's offering nonprofits or to help you open one? What is she offering?
So every year we have two programs: the Community Enhancement Program and the Neighborhood Investment Program. Basically, if you have a nonprofit already, you can apply for that grant. You do an application. We require some documentation, the link platform. But basically, you already come up with what you want to do, right? Let's say you want to do, I don't know, you want to invest in, for example, bring in art teachers to like the community or something like that. You will apply it, and then our office reviews. We review a bunch of them, but we do it every year. So the next opportunity is from July. If you're interested, you can ask Ernesto to let you, to guide you through the process. But yeah.
Yeah, how much money do they get usually?
It depends. I was seeing applications. It depends on how many people apply, how much money we get. But I see people get from even $2,000 to $250,000. So it really depends. It's up to the supervisor's team to decide.
So one was for the nonprofit people, and then the other one was for what?
So both of them are for nonprofits. I know it can be confusing. It's the Community Enhancement Program, the CEP, and then the Neighborhood Investment Program, the NRP. Both of them are for nonprofits. I know it can be a little confusing with the names, but yeah.
But they're both for different things.
Yeah, they share similar things, but yeah, there's specific criteria.
I think the difference is infrastructure versus programming services. So our Little League got money to replace our golf cart. and a separate, the other fund was more for like the field, fix the field. Kind of like the CPPS.
On the question of the testing of the air with hydrogen and sulfide, how long are you gonna be doing the testing?
I don't know that at the top of my head, but I'll get an answer to you.
The reason I'm saying this is because during the warm weather, during the months of August and September, is when you get that odor really bad. Hydrogen sulfide usually stays on the ground, but during that hot weather, it smells horrible. And it's about a month and a half between August and September. So that's why I'm asking, how long are you going to do that testing? Because if you're going to do it for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, even 8 months, you're not going to reach when the weather's hot.
I don't know at the top of my head. I will get an answer to you. What I do, the information that I do can give you is, so as I mentioned, there is the Air Pollution Control District. It's a meeting that is happening tomorrow. So if you want to get more input, I invite you out to the meeting. But yeah, I don't have that answer with you. I apologize, but I will give you the information to give it to you. Does that sound good?
I appreciate that.
Where's the meeting at?
Good question. I don't know. Let me check it up right now. I'll look it up right now and I'll try to get you information.
¿Puedo decir algo acerca de esto? Hace como 2 semanas, creo que Giancarlo, 3 semanas que estuvo la regidora Moreno en el Civic Center, que trajo personas de ahí de ¿cómo se llama la planta esa que está aquí? Sí. Hizo una presentación que de su planta no son los olores. Los olores son del río de Tijuana que corre hasta Imperial Beach y que no tiene nada que ver con eso. Eso lo tienen que arreglar en Tijuana. Entonces yo sugerí que lo arreglaran ya de presidente a presidente de repúblicas, porque ya han estado todos los políticos tratando de arreglar eso y no se va a quitar mientras no se pongan unas reglas muy rígidas para que no pase más toda esa contaminación de Tijuana. Es lo que ahí sí son.
Yo creo que lo mejor que se tiene que hacer es hacer la inversión entre Estados Unidos y,
ya lo hicieron.
Y México,
pero
en Tijuana
ya lo hicieron y no ha pasado nada. Según dicen que ya controlaron algo, pero no es cierto. Sigue pasando todos los desperdicios de toda clase y el agua sigue corriendo. Y como decía, viene de allá. Sí. Y el de la planta no puede hacer nada porque el río pasa por otro lado y no pasa por donde está la
Por eso
planta.
la planta debe hacerse en Tijuana.
Pues,
Que sean responsables de todo eso y que no más pase el agua limpia.
pero pues por eso les dije ahora que tiene que ser de gobierno federal a gobierno federal, porque ya local y estatal no se ha hecho nada.
Acuerdo internacional, lo que estoy diciendo, entre México y Estados Unidos.
So it's happening. There, at Councilmember Moreno's town hall, there was actually 2 presentations. This was 3 weeks ago. There was the operations manager from the water plant, and then Sandag, the bike lane. You know who got yelled at the most?
The
bike lanes.
lane.
So there are things going on. There are things happening. But you're right. We've been waiting a really long time.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that they got better was the change in the weather, and that they actually have the 4 of the 6 retention ponds are actually working now, and they're pumping less. But when it starts raining, they're gonna be pumping more.
I don't know if you ever have walked across through the other border of the Pin West.
Yes.
You could see the river, and it's filthy on the Mexican side. Filthy. I mean, it's
That's where it comes from.
yeah. So I mean, they can't say that it's not coming from over there because it's super filthy. Yeah. They should make something right there at the border so that it could clean it out.
So what, when Newsom came, it wasn't considered, no le hicieron una emergency, lo negaron,
They made the requests
but that's it.
from the city to the federal government. So the city asked the federal government, can you make this an emergency? This was about a month and a half ago.
Question mark soon?
We have not responded to them.
So
The county has declared it a federal, county emergency.
The state is the only one who has it. So there's levels. So the city's done it, the county's done it. Newsom refuses to. The federal government knows there's a problem.
There's about 13.
Yeah.
It's a problem, so we all know that.
13 agencies.
Yes.
Now, this has been going on since 1957, 1960.
Yes.
Because it's too many agencies and that's why we haven't come up with it. That's why it's gotta be done in Mexico. It's gotta be binational, there's gonna be a lot of money involved. Just do checks and balances.
We agree.
In principle.
It's everyone, yeah.
Much we can do.
Okay, so Newsom hasn't done it despite our assembly members' insistence that he do it. So it's Liliana's turn. It's a good segue.
Hi everyone, my name's Liliana. I'm with the Office of Assembly Member David Alvarez, and I was assigned to represent San Ysidro. So I'm happy to be here. And I have information on 2 events. One is the Holiday Posada that we'll be hosting next month. And we hope to see you all there. It's going to be on Friday, December 13th, in the evening at the Chula Vista Public Library at the Civic Center branch. So here are some flyers, and I'll pass them around. And then we have a college resource fair coming in January 25th at Southwest High School. So please let any high school students, let them know that there's going to be a college fair. Even if they're 9th graders, it's always good for them to start looking at universities and colleges, and there's going to be a lot of information tables. And for seniors, there's going to be help with the FAFSA application. And we're happy to help with any state-related issues. Feel free to reach out to me if you need assistance with any state department.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have no announcements. Board members going down. Mr. Ripa?
No.
Goyo? Mr. Farias, this is where you would speak now?
Well, you already did the speaking for me about that. I saw those trees, but I didn't see no cleanup, And I don't know if they could do something about this from Del Sol all the way to the pool. That road is very, very bad. From Picador and Smythe.
Yeah, the repaving went just to the visit where you turn to Vista Terrace, right? The other portion I've put in several times, and and as well as Cottonwood, and then I put Seaward in, and I think I deleted the email. The email basically I got back from Get It Done was we patched what we could, but there's too much.
It has to be repaid.
Yeah, and that there's, let me see if I can. Potholes are patched, but significant repairs are needed due to limited funding. Resurfacing is prioritized per the pavement condition index. So, and they have a link, and what I'll do is I'll send that link out to everybody so that you can see more or less when certain sections, bigger segments like that are on a calendar. When Get It Done first came out, I put in San Ysidro Boulevard from the 805 to the feed store. It took 7 years for half of that segment to be done.
Yes.
7 years.
And I believe the mayor just wants to, I heard some about bring some tax so that they could do for more road repairs.
I believe it's losing.
And I mean, they jacked up the gas tax And a few years ago, they wouldn't give it 20 cents on a gallon and without anybody voting on that. And where did that money go? Who knows?
And just to add on to his point, because I think,
You know what? When you go from Del Sol, Boulevard, Calor, coming down to Smile, where the pool, where the pool.
I think it was Measure E.
It's so bad.
There was an update today.
At the time.
Let me tell you where Measure E is, City of San Diego, Measure E, 51% is required to pass. Right now, it's at 50.8 is no, 49.1 is yes. So it's losing by 10,000 votes. So that was the extra, sales tax that was gonna specifically go to infrastructure, which is roads, sidewalks, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they always say infrastructure for roads and stuff, and they pass it and nothing gets done.
And then the next year they have another one.
Exactly.
And the county had one too.
Bond, and it is.
Let me see where the county one is.
I was just gonna ask to this point, so on that website that he's talking about, it's called streetssd.gov. It'll show you which streets are planned to be repaved. But the portion of Cottonwood and Seaward are both unclickable because they're not planned to be repaved. And clearly that's a huge problem because it's one of the most transited streets in San Ysidro. One of the only recourses that we have is to name it as a budget priority. So when the budget season comes in April, May, we say this is the most important streets that we need in our city to be repaved, and explicitly put those streets on there so that they can add it to this list. But again, these lists take years, realistically years, to be touched by any street resurfacer. Yeah.
The county sales tax measure, that was also the same thing, infrastructure, but countywide, is also losing by the same way.
When do they stop?
They have to be certified by December 7th. And they're still, as of today at 4 p.m., there are still 77,000 ballots. They're talking about.
You know, I guess people finally get tired of all these sales tax and nothing gets done.
Mr. Pettis? Mr. Yaleo?
Tomorrow we have the distribution of the food bank next Friday, day after tomorrow, on Las Americas by car only. And the good news that we're gonna start our distribution that we had in Monte Carmelo and they canceled. We're gonna start doing December 3rd, the first Tuesday of the month, in San Ysidro Library. Okay, help us to do that because the father from North Mount Carmel won't say anything, and we actually said no. We don't know what happened. He said they canceled just for 2 months because the
Traffic.
project.
Yeah.
And passed to the 2 months, and Mrs. Jimenez called him and said, no. I don't know. No excuses, no nothing, but he said no. And that's we start to looking in other places, and I talked with the library, and Elaine made me with his supervisor. I talked with him, and he says, we're gonna start to do it and see if it works. We're gonna keep going for the next year. And then we start at 7 until 10:30. 10:30 to 11 because the library opens at 11:30. And that's why they let us do it that day, the first Tuesday of the month. And we are so happy for the people.
Thank you. Ms. Wilson?
I don't have anything to add other than glad to be a part and joining here. And I did fill out my application, which I will give to you,
Thank you.
Rudy.
Mr. Redondo?
I just want to throw a note for, there's a lot of complaints about road, potholes, and there's one more, bad news, for the city, that they're contemplating, charge or making the homeowners responsible for sidewalks. And they're trying to devise, come up with a program to give you credit, I believe, on your property taxes. If you, by making the homeowner responsible for repairing the sidewalks. So I don't know if you're lucky enough to have 100 feet of sidewalk in front of your house and it's all cracking up, so that's, I just want to throw that note on there. That was from the newspaper report, so we'll see what happens.
Just Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, see you next year.
Merry Christmas.
No, thank you. Just, we're going to San Ysidro School is having the teddy bear for kids this year. On the 13th of December at the San Ysidro Middle School, it's gonna be a drive-through again. And it's a community event for the kids in San Ysidro. And, yeah, Merry Christmas all.
Mr. King?
No, nothing. Just to make sure to attend the secretary.
I have one thing to mention before the last comment. As the departing chair, should host a Christmas going away party.
Nice. After next week's CPC meeting where they're going over budgets, I'll let you know.
So that one seat that's still open, we can talk about it then?
We'll have Goyo agendized for January, yeah. So we can start the year with a full.
Yeah.
We're going over the bylaws too, right, for.
Yes, yeah.
So we should get a copy so everybody could review them on vacation.
Yep. And then for those of you who were just appointed or elected, I will send you an email, CC Goyo, on your next step. There's a online training you have to complete before a certain date. Mr. Friedman, would you like the last word?
All right. I joined this planning group about 37 years ago. Okay, at that time I was about this tall, about that thin. Now I'm this tall and that fat. But I enjoyed it. So, however, other circumstances within the city have convinced me that this is not the place for me anymore. And so I've chosen to resign. Actually, no. That's what you want to say, I resign. No. I simply chose not to run for re-election.
I'll make sure that the record reflects the correct.
I appreciate that. Other than that, I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you.
And you can always stop in and see Mr. Friedman at the Friends of the Library, what do you call it, office, shop? Bookstore. So with that, we will adjourn at 7:46. Thank you very much.
¿Usted quiere una copia, verdad?
Oh, ¿sí me la diste?
Ah, sí.
Si quieres, dame la otra.
¿Usted quiere una copia?
See, yeah, I have to read it. Thank
You got a question about the meeting, right? Oh, it was in my phone.